wanted to address the promises made, promises kept. But before we did that, I wanted to kind of share our story. We love Avon. We really love Avon. We've been here 20 years, and the schools and the community has changed a lot in that time. And to that point, I made a list of all the new restaurants that Avon has opened in the last 15 years. Zaxby's, Wings, etc. I'm not really going to read all of it. The Pacers play tonight. I'm not really going to read. But after Mrs. Taylor talked about her career, I'm going to pivot a little bit, and I'm going to talk about momentum. So rather than go through the restaurants, I know Grill and Chill did not make that note card. I'm going to talk about Costco. Do you guys remember what we used to, as Avon residents, walk around and randomly stare at the walls, trying to make a selection before Costco? Blockbuster Video. Now we have a Costco. 3 more ways that Avon has experienced momentum. The road expansions. Dan Jones is now 2 lanes in each direction in a lot of areas. Rockville, 3. That was needed. Bridges. Do you know that there used to not be a bridge right over here on 267 on the railroad tracks? And if you got stuck at that light, you were there 5-6 minutes and the traffic would back all the way up to Rockville Road. And then roundabouts. I love roundabouts. I don't love the drivers in the roundabouts, but they're also much more efficient and help with traffic. Costco is here. Ale Emporium is coming. I didn't get to mention that with my my list of restaurants. We have East and Gray coming. Avon has momentum. Similarly, Avon schools have momentum. Mrs. Taylor did such a good job talking about the difference in the failed referendum in 2011 and then the passed referendum in 2018. And I can echo her points down to the point. People that we lost, resources that we lost, programs that we lost. I was also there when the community supported and passed the referendum in 2018, and it was night and day. And we were able to really meet students where they were, give them the supports they need, and watch them thrive. Avon schools have momentum. I wanted to talk about the third point, though, tonight, which is in the promises made, promises kept. The third point was talking about additional student opportunities. My job over at Avon High School is work-based learning coordinator. And what that means is I oversee our work-based learning program, which is our internship program. Students, 12th grade students, are able to leave the campus and report to a career that they're interested in potentially exploring and learn on the job, whether it's a physical therapy office, a dental office, a car repair shop. Hendricks Regional Health has a great partnership with us, and on the list goes, all the way down to trades, including welding, construction, electricians. And obviously there are lots and lots of benefits in learning in the work setting. The main 2 benefits would be career exploration. Many students are turned on to a career. Other students think, maybe I don't want to go into this career, which is also valuable while you're still in high school. And then the soft skills, the work-ready skills that are gained. When you think about how this generation needs communication skills, needs problem-solving skills, needs all the skills that will help them be successful adults, they're getting that while in high school. When we're talking about providing opportunities to students, I can't think of a better program than the work-based learning experiences that a lot of our students are given access to. And I've been lucky enough to work with over 500 high school seniors in the last few years. Let's go back to the town of Avon. We talked about momentum, and we've talked about how it changed. We're not losing momentum as a town. There's no way that we're going to tear down the Costco and put up a Blockbuster. There's no way that we're going to take this bridge out and put in a stoplight, nor will we do the 3 lanes back down to 2. As Dr. Wyndham and Mrs. Taylor described, it would be tough to see that happen at our schools. Imagine telling the students that the resources that they need are not going to be available to them, or that their favorite aide will not be working there any longer, or that the class has grown by 30%. This referendum isn't about extravagance, it's about sustainability. It's about the momentum that we have and keeping that momentum going. And if we lose the funding, we're losing that momentum. So let's not go backwards.
Hi, my name is Casie Clark, and I am wife to Adam Clark. We have 3 wonderful girls that you see up here. Our girls have grown through River Birch, Maple, East, North, and the high school. And this coming year, we will have a senior, a sophomore, and an 8th grader. I myself am a teacher. I taught for 21 years in a neighboring school district and was fortunate enough to have a position open up here in Avon where I could join the staff at Pine Tree as a 3rd grade teacher. I just want to share a little bit tonight about my parent perspective, and since that is ultimately what led me to move here as a teacher, I'll talk a little bit about that as well. But regardless of my role, what I can say is that I have seen Avon schools deliver in each one of the referendum promises, and it is imperative that we can keep that going. When I think about being a parent in Avon, one of the first things that comes to mind is the countless opportunities that are offered to kids, not just in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. Our girls are involved in a lot. They have definitely taken the performing arts path, and we have done everything from orchestra, theater, show choir, and marching band. These programs are phenomenal. They are well run. They teach kids skills like teamwork, discipline, strong work ethic. The kids are cared about as individuals, and I know that they are learning skills that will last a lifetime. They truly deserve every bit of state and national recognition that they get. This year in our house, we had a state champion as an accents member, and we also had a grand national champion in the marching black and gold. And I'm very proud of them. I also know that these programs would not be what they are without the talented and committed adults who lead them. I'm thankful for the impact that these people have made on our girls and our family. So being a teacher mom is a little tricky because it is almost impossible to not go into school situations and the classroom without having that teacher lens. When you teach all day, every day, and you already know the ins and outs of the classroom, it's just not easy to take that filter off. And so one thing that actually stands out to me, a specific event, was when our youngest had to go to Maple for 4th grade in the last redistricting. And I remember going to back to school night, and I was completely blown away. I know that these teachers had to move. I know that they had to move not just classrooms, but buildings. And I know that the building had been newly renovated. If you've ever been a part of an elementary teacher moving, that is no small feat. It may or may not involve U-Hauls and moving trucks, because that's how much stuff they end up accumulating. But it was Sally Gongwer's class, and it was as if none of that ever happened. Everything was set up. It looked great. The kids, everything was ready to go. But what stood out to me more than that was the focus on instruction. There was a plan, there was a curricular plan, there was a schedule, and it was very obvious that that was a priority, and that's what they were going to do. I remember going home and sharing that with Adam, and he was like, duh, that's why you need to come work in Avon. It's the guaranteed viable curriculum. And that is true, and that was a testament to how this district is committed to consistent instruction for all students and making that a priority. That was actually just the push that I needed to make the move myself, and I was so lucky to be able to join Pine Tree just 2 years ago as a 3rd grade teacher, and I got to see this focus on instruction firsthand. I can honestly tell you that the professional learning community, and when I say that, I mean the group of professionals and teachers that are working together towards student learning and student achievement, is second to none. It is an all hands on deck approach with everyone wholeheartedly committed to making sure that students are learning at high levels. Our staff is dedicated to serving all students, setting goals. We're constantly making plans and reassessing plans and just doing whatever it takes to make sure that we reach all students, and I am so proud to be a part of that. The last point that I just want to touch on is class size. Studies show that there is a correlation between small class sizes and student achievement. especially in the early grades. I think we know that. So when we have these solid structures in place, it is important that we are doing what it takes to maintain environments that will keep that effective. When I think of class size, I think of two important aspects. One is the physical, literal class space. Classrooms are only so big, they can only fit so many kids. And I know that in the past, not in Avon, but when I've had class sizes of high numbers, even over 30 kids, something small, like even where to put their backpacks and coats, you have so many cubbies in a classroom, and you got to get creative when you have those really big class sizes to figure out where to put that stuff. That doesn't feel good as a teacher or even as a kid to have to figure out a place to put their stuff because you just don't have enough room. When you think about the physical part of a classroom and instruction, that's also important. In elementary, they're in the room all day. Sitting in a desk and not being able to move around is not going to work. So being able to get up, move around, to be in a group, work in a partner, work on the floor even, or a table, those things are going to allow greater flexibility for instruction. Secondly, would be individualized instruction, and to me that's the most important thing. This year, our grade level at Pine Tree was right over the desired class size, and Avon did as they promised, and they added an additional section to our team. And not only did that additional section bring a great person and brain to collaborate with and to work with, but our students had increased supervision, we had more space, but most importantly, it lowered that teacher to student ratio so we could really get more time per student. Whole group teaching is great, there's a time for it, but me standing up in front of a class of 8 and 9-year-olds all day, only doing that is not going to cut it. And so meeting with students in small groups, making sure that you're meeting with students even individually or with partners is just an invaluable practice that helps build relationships and to gain insights to kids and just to ensure learning. So I am so thankful for the opportunity that I had this year to get to know the class that I did, because I feel like I was able to have a little bit of extra time to invest in them just because of that low class size. So in conclusion, I have to have my closing statement because I teach that as a writing teacher. As a teacher or a parent, I would put my money where my mouth is any day when it comes to the great things that Avon does for students. And it is so, so important that we can keep that going. Thank you.